Hey guys, it's Miss Black with another art tutorial for those of you who are doing art from home, or any of you actually that just want something that's really creative to do. So this project is going to involve symmetry, and if you guys have ever wondered what symmetry is just when you have something that mirrors one side of it to the other side. So like shapes, like for example, this shape here has symmetry because if I fold it in half, it creates the same shape. Or if I were to even just make a new shape, and just like, I don't know, rip something. Even though this shape, there's like really not a name for it, like the rectangle we just did, because that's the shape that it makes when it's folded, it will make the same shape on either side, but it's the mirror image of it. So if I open this up, it's going to mirror each other. So this is the same shape as this, except it's kind of actually the exact opposite because it's the mirror image of it. Our hands have symmetry. Okay, so when you put your hands together, they make the same shape. In fact, our whole bodies, our faces, and actually lots and lots of different things that are in nature have symmetry. And so when you fold things, or if you were able to fold something living like that, it would create the same shape. Snowflakes, if you guys did my snowflake project, you'll notice that it has symmetry, but it has actually more than one. So for example, this only has one because if I put it down the middle here, it only makes the same shape once. If I tried to fold it this way, it would not make the same shape. But if it can make the same shape more than once, more than one fold, then that's said to be called radial symmetry. So I'll show you guys that really quick with a square here. So I've got a square. If I fold it down the middle, it will make the same shape. If I fold it up, it creates the same shape. Oops. So far we've got two lines of symmetry. There's one there, but I could also fold it across like this, which makes the same shape, and across like this. So we actually did a lot about this with the snowflakes and even the mandalas. So this square has 4 lines of symmetry, and it usually coincides with as many sides as it has if you're thinking of geometric shapes, which are these shapes. Any shape that has a name basically is a geometric shape, like a square, triangle, but a shape like this isn't so much a geometric shape because it's got curved lines and it doesn't really have a name. So that's just a quick thing to think about. So what we're going to do is create something, some creature, something that you want to create by using symmetry. So what you're going to need today is a piece of paper, and it could be any size. I would suggest it being white though, so that you have a lot of options to go from after you've created your ink blot or whatever it is. This is basically going to be an ink blot or something like an ink blot. So you'll need that. You'll need some form of liquid medium. So that could be paint. I've got paint here. That could be ink. That could be watercolor. Anything that you could make. What I'm trying to say is anything that when you put some on one side, it will transfer over to the other side. So I'm just going to be using paint today. And then you're going to need something to draw with over that. So I've got a pencil. You could also use something like a Sharpie, another pen, anything like that. I've got a pen here too that I actually wanted to try and use. So anything to draw with after, and you actually might also want to give yourself some options as to maybe adding different colors. So you could use crayons, anything that's got different colors. Okay, so that's what you're going to need for this project. So the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to take our paper and we're going to fold it in half. Now you can decide if you want to fold it in half this way, maybe make it look a little different, or this way. It's up to you. I'm going to fold it this way. and try your best to match up those edges and those corners. Okay, and this line is going to be our line of symmetry. For this, we're not going to have radial symmetry because it's more like an ink blot, which is more like something like this, where you have this really interesting shape, but it's not geometric. As far as this goes, it's probably not the shape that you come up with when you transfer over to the both sides is most likely not going to be geometric. It's not going to have a name. It's not going to have straight lines or angles, but it's possible. But we're only going to have one line of symmetry for this project in most cases for this. Let me just focus this a little bit. So I folded it in half. So I'm going to open it back up. This is going to be that line of symmetry, so I'll know that whatever I put over here or over here, it will transfer over to the other side. I'm going to use my green paint here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drip some of this paint on one side, and really you could do it on both sides. Doesn't matter, because when you fold this in half, it will kind of create a transfer of the same shape to the other side. So I've got these on here, and now what I'm going to do is simply just fold this back over and press it together. And what it's going to do is create this really interesting shape. You can kind of have fun with pushing that if you used paint, like a thicker paint like I did. Or you could even do this with ink if you used ink. But basically you just kind of want to thin it out so it dries faster. Okay, that's pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is open it back up and let it dry. And this is what it's created right now. So if you look at that, you can turn it around if you want to look at it the other way. Oops. But you're going to let it dry, and then you're going to kind of add to whatever thing you see in this. So as far as what I'm seeing here, I kind of see a hippo in this. You're obviously going to be seeing something different because you have a different set of drips than I did. But what I see here is a hippo, so I might add to this hippo, make it look more like a hippo, or something, maybe even like a dinosaur, or like I see eyes here, maybe a nose here. So that's what you're going to do. But first, before you add to it, you're going to need to let this dry. So you're going to let it dry, and you can add to it after. So what I'm going to do right now is just stop the video, let this dry, and then I'll jump back on and make another video of me adding to it. So I hope you guys had fun making your ink blot things. It's just time to let paint dry at this point. So I'll catch you on the next video.